everyone at first thinks and even feels at first that Wing Chun is static. There's nothing static about good Wing Chun. It's alive, it's flowing.
The principle of range influence. Range must always be an influence on your posture and actions during fighting.
When you are long, here's a very important thing about priorities of footwork. When you are further away and you have no contact whatsoever, you have no structure, and you shouldn't have any structure. People mess this up. And being able to transition between a longer range and bridge the gap into a closer range, the more traditional range of Wing Chun, is extremely important. Don't go ahead and get a heavy structure here. Heavy structure is for here, right? Make sure you're mobile here. So there is going to be some difference in how you apply your footwork in longer range versus closer range. People think, oh, he's coming at me, right? Let me get my structure, right? They think that. Or maybe they're longer, right?
Yeah.
People do that. It's a very natural thing because you get stuck in a mode. You get stuck in one mode, and that's why it's so important to understand what range you are and having different range, and this is range influence, we call it. This is extremely important in your fighting. When you're long, you know, you're moving around, right? I honestly believe in head movement a lot in long range. Maybe a traditional range, and a traditional range of Wing Chun, the closer range, no head movement. I don't like that in there because that's sacrificing your structure. But you don't need structure out here. You don't need structure out here. You need evasive movement, okay? Evasive movement. Flat-footedness is for structure. Here's where I'm flat-footed, right? In close. Here's where I'm, connecting there to the ground. Here, I'm evading in order to get to where I want to be, right? Where I want to be. Head movement. So the rules of long range. The head and the foot combined together. The traditional range of Wing Chun, that is not true. Okay? So when something comes into me, okay, look where my head is and look where my foot is. I didn't apply my punch yet because I just wanted you to see my head and my foot. Now as I put it together with my strike, again, see my head and my foot? So it's combined together. So head movement moves and the foot goes with it. So this is the implications of footwork. You're not doing this. Right? That's going to get you stuck in place. That's not going to make you mobile. As he comes in and I, boom, right? I'm very mobile. I can go wherever I want to at that time because I'm here, right? Constantly moving around as needed, right? As needed. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So to practice your head movement in long range, simply get your like a wide horse stance, okay? Get on your toes. Bring your head over top of your knee, over top of your foot. This is how you're going to practice head movement. The other foot doesn't have a lot of weight on it, so that this foot does, and you can make this your launch from there, right? So, boom, boom, get you where you need to be. Okay, makes you not stuck. Check another thing out about this. Dung Tao, or head up as if being pulled by a string, is not as important in long range. What is important is head movement and being able to get to a spot very efficiently and evasively. Okay? So you'll notice as I go here, I'm not here. See that? This makes me more of a sitting duck in long range. So this is what's difficult about blending your long range into your close range. It's difficult because they're different modes. And you can't be all structured out here, like I said. You have to be fluid and mobile. Head movement, boom, boom. But then, as George comes in and I'm here, now, because contact is imminent, oh, boom. See my structure there. It came in at that, as I got it, right? And you felt the structure, and it all came from underneath. That's how the traditional range of Wing Chun really, really works, is in close. What am I missing?
So, Sifu, when you say out of structure, to what extent you can lean forward, but I mean, as long as you're.
You don't need any structure when there is no contact.
So there's no rules whatsoever, as long
Yes.
as long as the foot and the head
Yes.
are moving together.
However, when contact is about to come, that's when you structure up.
Okay.
But prior to contact, no. Why structure? You don't need it. Structure is for deflections and making yourself feel a lot stronger than you really are because of connecting to the rest of the body, as you guys felt it, right? Structure's for that. Yes?
In order to maintain your fluidity, then it seems like you really don't want to overemphasize getting into a side body type of posture.
You can, based on range. So now we're talking about range. We have three general ranges. Long range, which is basically side body. That's our longest range we can have. And then we have long bridge, which is our here. And then we have medium and shorter range. If you don't need to go to a side body, if you don't need that longer range and they're coming to you, then why would you do it? Right? However, there's going to be times when, he was coming into me in that example, but there's going to be times when you're going to need that in order to do basically the arrow punch, right? Boom to boom, right? But if you don't need to, remember our goal is always to get in, ABC, always be closing, right? That is Wing Chun. That's still the goal, even as you're practicing your long range Wing Chun. And it's going to take on elements of Western boxing, not because we're influenced that really necessarily with Western boxing. It's because the range needs it. It's a range priority thing. So we haven't mixed Western boxing with what we're doing. We've just seen through decades of this practice what works and what doesn't at these different range. This is our Wing Chun at long range.